Welcome viewers to Championship Online Racing Association's Sunday Money Series. Drivers must qualify in one of 3 qualifiers that run Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, finishing in the top 10 to make it into the Sunday Money Race. Each Sunday Money Race will feature 9 payout positions, meaning close to 1/3 of the drivers racing on Sunday will be going to the bank on Monday. The winner of each Sunday Money Race will receive $30. Second place pays $20, $15 for third, $10 for fourth, and $5 to fifth place. In addition to the top 5 finishing positions, CORA will also pay a $5 award to the fastest qualifier, giving them the Fast Cash Award. Prior to the start of qualifying for each Sunday Money Race, a number is drawn at random. The driver qualifying in that position will be awarded a $5 Easy Money Award. The same number will be used to pay a $5 bonus for the driver finishing in that same position in tonight's race. As is the way with CORA to encourage safe, clean racing, CORA will also be paying a $5 bonus for the highest finisher with the fewest incidents outside the top 5. In addition to our drivers racing for the Sunday Money, they are also vying for the coveted CORA Championship. Points will be tallied over the season with the top 5 receiving cash awards, the winner being crowned the CORA Sunday Money Champion. Every time a driver qualifies for a Sunday Money event, their name will go into a pool for a drawing to win a year's membership of iRacing Compliments of CORA, Championship Online Racing Association, the premier series in online racing. Sunday Money Series official sponsors are Dale Smalley Drywall, the finish is what counts, Bart, Competition Karting, and Berkey Painting and Sandblasting. Green's Automotive, celebrating 60 years of business. A first look at the all-new 2013 Chevy Malibu. A revolutionary new touch console puts all the information where you need it. Introducing the entirely new Ford Fusion, an entirely new idea of what a car can be. And now we would like to pass off to Reverend Mark Anderson for our pre-race invocation.
Heavenly Father, we thank you that in your divine providence, you made it possible for us to be here tonight. And we ask you, Lord, to watch over our servicemen and women here and abroad. And God, that you would protect them as they protect the freedom that we enjoy. And now, Father God, we lift up to you these asphalt warriors, these high-octane gladiators who are going to risk themselves for the thrill of the race. We pray that you would increase their talents and abilities, that you would heighten their senses and awareness. God, that you would protect them and give them a race that we will never forget. God, that we can have a 3-wide, door-banging drag race to the checkered flag tonight. Yes. Father, we believe that nothing but good things are going to come to pass as soon as these men hit the gas. So, Father, we pray by faith, with joy and thanksgiving in our heart, and in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and together, all of God's creation says, amen and amen.
And now we'd like to pass it off to our very own Jaden Berkey for today's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now finally, down to Gordon Berkey for the 4 most famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
And welcome into ETV Live's broadcast of the Sunday Money Series here, the CORA Championship Online Racing Association. We're currently under caution on lap 11. You're seeing the official standings right now. We're going to run through those real quick. Dallas Miracle is your leader, 387 points, followed by Dave Smalley, 24 points back. Then you have Vince Vinny, he's 32 back. Mark Bloy, 43 points off the leader. Mart Arthur in 5th position. We have David Wink, 64 off. James Brown, 80. Kevin Van in 8th position, 88 points behind. Jonathan Smith, 95 points off of the leader. And Bruce Bouchard, 119 points off of your leader in the championship standings. He rounds off the top 10, and this series runs every Sunday night. They do a different set of different race cars and track every week. And they are running right now Charlotte Motor Speedway, 125 laps. In the iRacing Classic, everybody knows these cars. It's the street stocks at Charlotte, where many of these iRacers, people that you see in other series, where they have started their iRacing careers. And it's good to come back here, and it's an open setup race, so you get your best setup and you get going. And we've seen 2 major cautions. We haven't had anybody up in the booth, but you've seen them on the replay. 2 cautions. Everyone's going to try to keep it easy and start to coast here. Get in a groove. It's a long night under the lights at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and in these street stocks, it'll definitely be a long night.
Indeed, it will be here, Evan. We're sitting right now on lap 12 as they are pacing around. The pace car lights are not out as they work their way through turn number 4 here. We're looking to see when we will be going back green. But yeah, as you mentioned, this is something that these guys are probably a little accustomed to, coming back to their grassroots of racing here on the iRacing.com service, running the street stocks at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Could be some bad or good memories on these drivers, just depends on how they head it back down to the Rookie Series, and it looks like we got the one to go, and we're going to start getting ready here for the restart next time by.
And definitely mixed emotions coming back to the grassroots of their racing career. Most people can't wait to get out of that rookie class when they joined, but then once you get out of it, you look back, it's good memory. So definitely fun for these guys. Lots of A-class drivers, I can tell, with the blue stripes. And we have a lot of other class drivers, and you can qualify for this race. They have 3 qualifying races, I do believe, throughout the week, as long as many practices. So if you guys are checking out the hosted section on iRacing.com, you'll see lots of Sunday Money practice sessions. Feel free to jump in. I believe it's a $2 entry free into the qualifier, and then $2 entry free if you qualify for this challenge. And they do give out cash prizes to the top 5 drivers, as well as a bunch of other ones. So it's a great thing to check out. Definitely try to get involved in it. We're getting ready to go green.
Indeed we are, Evan. The field is doubled up, and we got Garrett Denton currently out in front in his number 99 machine. Dallas Miracle going to line up here in second with Gary Milbackler. Bruce Bouchard and Ron McMahon, the top 5 here, as the pace car is about ready to duck down onto pit road, and we're going to go green once again.
And that Ford Racing pace car is going to dive down to pit road. We're going to wait on the 99 machine. Not yet, not yet. He's going to wait for the green flag. It flies. And there they go. They have come to life at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And these drivers are going to try to settle into some sort of a groove here. We've seen 2 cautions come out so far. 19 minutes so far, and we've only hit lap 14. And these things, 11 car gets loose. That's Bruce Bouchard. Real loose. He's going to slide up the racetrack. And these old race cars that everyone has raced on iRacing, essentially, very interesting to draft here. They can't beat and bang around like, say, NASCAR Gen 6 cars and all that stuff. So you have to be very careful about that. And these are just your everyday racers. Some of these guys have never raced with each other before, so it's really interesting to see how they work things out. But we have a little bit of a 2-car breakaway. The number 99 Garrett Denton and Dallas Miracle, your top 2, have opened up a little bit of a gap on the 3rd place car of Bruce Bouchard. Now Gary Milbacher takes that position.
Yeah, you talked about it, how fragile these race cars are. This is pretty much a super speedway race for these guys. They're only topping out at about 140, 150 miles per hour, so they can run this racetrack flat out. And when they get into these big packs, it's just like seeing NASCAR at Daytona or Talladega. The slightest mistake is going to hurt a lot of people, and it can definitely shrink the field here in the blink of an eye if it unfortunately has to happen.
And that's right, and you mentioned running full speed in. You want to make sure you get a good arc into the corner so that back end does not step out. And we have the 48 challenging for the lead now, the 99. He's staying right on his bumper, but now gaining a little bit of momentum are the 21 and 11 cars of Gary Milbacher and Bruce Bouchard. And we're hearing of a wreck in the back of the pack. The caution flag will fly from a incident that happened around 27th position. I see a bunch of cars smoking on the back straightaway. Not sure what caused that.
Yeah, Evan, looked like there was some sort of accident off of turn 2, and it looks like it stacked up quite a few drivers and caused some to hit the wall, and somebody just blew a motor there on the back straightaway. That is the 24 of Mario Godino. He has blown the motor, and looks like he might be done for the night, unfortunately. So lap 16 is going to be the killing point for the number 24, Mario Godino.
And that incident started with a top 10 car, the number 52 of Wayne Katner. You mentioned these cars are so fragile. He was running on the high side of the 56 and the car just stepped out on him, got loose, tried to hang onto it, checked up. The 22 got into his back end. They both went into the wall and the 52 came sliding down, clobbered, I believe, the 12 car. 88 was involved and they just plugged the whole back straightaway right where you exit turn 2. So you can't really just control your car. You can't swerve left when you're exiting a corner and spin yourself out and just block the racetrack, and that involved several cars, and that is our third incident so far this race. This is a tricky track with these cars.
Indeed it is. You know, these speeds with these cars can upset them, as we saw there with that last incident, and just break them loose. And it can be a handful to it can be a handful to grab back control of them once they're sideways, especially with when you got a full field of cars all around you, and unfortunately it leads to problems like we just saw.
And we already have 2 cars, I believe, in the garage, number 71 of Vincent Vinny being shown 27th, and Gary Bowership being shown 29th. They are 3 and 14 laps down respectively, so obviously a tough night for several drivers, and there are some cars down on pit road for repairs, trying to get those things fixed up. And this is almost a Daytona 500 with these things. You mentioned they get to about 140 and change top speed, full speed on the throttle all the way around the track. 125 laps. It's going to be a long night of racing, so they can definitely try to get that thing fixed up. Maybe they have a quick repair or two, get fixed up, go back at it, and try to continue for the win. There's lots of great prizes being handed out tonight, cash prizes, so even if you're not the winner, you're still maybe able to walk home with something, so definitely keep going for it.
Yeah, it's really really cool how these guys over here at Cora do that. They give back to their fellow racers who give their time and just supporting this league. So it's that's definitely a really cool feature that they have here with this league, and it shows. They got a lot of guys here, and they want a shot at those prizes. So and they're not gonna give up here. They've got a long way to go. They want those prizes, and for right now, it seems like it might be a survival of the fittest. If you're there, you got a shot.
And this is definitely one of those races where most people would say the safest part of the racetrack to avoid a wreck would be the back of the pack. I'm thinking the safest place on this track is up front, and that's where the 99 and the 48 are hanging out. I was assuming that the pace car lights would go off. They are still on, so we have 2 laps to green, assuming that they do take them off next time by. But yeah, you saw that incident there, and it blocks the track, and these things, you don't have the best control over these things. They really get loose if you slam on the brakes. Very hard to control, so the safest place is going to be up front, and that's where everybody is going to be trying to get early as we pace on lap 19 of 125.
Absolutely, Evan, and it looks like there might be some damage repairs set for these servers for these guys, as I see the number 24, Mario Godino. He has come back out onto the racetrack after blowing his motor, so these guys must allow some sort of a damage repair after you get caught up in something. So obviously getting caught up in something early might not be too much of a disadvantage for you.
Definitely, and it is such a long race, and I was thinking that because we saw several cars come down with the front ends gone, and they did lose a lap or so fixing them, put fresh tires on it. And that's great because it really balances the field out, and it's not going to ruin a driver's night real early, which makes the competition so much better later on in the race. And if you look back up front, the pace car lights, I believe, will go off as we cross the stripe this time by, and that's going to give the drivers the 1 lap to go signal. Lights are off, so we're going to go green next time by.
Still up front is Garrett Denton. He will bring that back to the green flag when we come back around there. Darius Miracle, Gary Milbackler, Bruce Bouchard, and now Dale Smalley, the top 5 with Ron McMahon, Gordon Burke, Alan Steering, Michael Watkins, and Dale Cronkright, the top 10 when we go back green flag racing.
And that's definitely right. I believe we just entered turn number 3, if I'm not mistaken. Getting ready to exit turn. No, sorry, we're on turn 2. Getting this racetrack confused here, so we're going to pace down the back straightaway. And with this, the way this league, so to speak, is set up is they run different tracks and different cars every week, and it's real great because it's not an organization where you say you're going to see the same guys racing each week. You could check your iRacers right now, and heck, you could see a couple buddies doing this race, and it's great, the variety and the chances that they give for everyone to just compete in a real fun league and race for money prizes. I mean, there's nothing better than that. And we are currently working now through turns 3 and 4, getting ready to go green.
Pace car getting ready to drop down onto pit road and put the control in the hands of the number 99 of Garrett Denton. Lap 2105 laps to go when we take the green flag here. The pace car is down on a pit road. Denton hits the throttle, and we are green flag racing once again here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And there they go. Green flag is now officially out.
And that's right, the 48, Dallas Miracle, sticking right with him on the high side. Now he's dropping back a bit. The 21, Gary Milbacher, trying to sneak it on the inside. Now the 48 is going to pull down in front, which will single file out your top 3. Right back there, though, in 4th position, side by side, the 69 of Dave Smalley and Bruce Bouchard there. Looks like 69 maybe a little bit of an advantage. 12 car pushing the 11 on the high side. That is all battling for 4th.
Side by side for 4th place on back. The 11 car getting a push there, trying to make it happen on the top side and get the run coming off of turn number 4. Looks like the number 69 of Dale Smalley is going to try to wash up, kill that momentum. Took the grass there a little bit through the quad level. He's able to hang on and keep it going in the right direction. Side by side still for about 4th through 8th or so. And the 17 machine of Gordon Burke going to try to make the move on the inside around Bruce Bouchard. Back straightaway, here they come. The 69 blocks down in front of the 17. They're going to push their way past the 11 into turn number 3. The 36 machine of Michael Watkins looks to do the same, but the 11 comes down and takes the inside line back.
And that's right, the 72 car. Right behind them, that's Ron McMahon. He was side by side with that 36 of Michael Watkins. Now 72 has lost 2 positions. He is stranded on that top side, and now the 8 of Alan Staring trying to go by, and here comes the 56 also of Darren Cronkright. They are both getting by that 72. Maybe the 72 maybe have some slight damage, maybe he smacked the ball, but that car is wicked loose and stuck on the high side. Now he's going to pull back in line and try to get back up there, but he lost about 3 positions there within about a lap, so tough break for that number 72, but still a long way to go. He can make those positions up easily. It's going to be about conserving your tires, and I'm pretty sure everybody can relate to this. These tires will go away quickly on these things. Street stocks, nothing special about them, it's simple racing, and this is one of those cars, so to speak, that you race that really can put the focus on the driver, and it'll be interesting to see how these drivers can compose themselves racing against people that they know nothing about.
Yeah, absolutely. And for right now, it looks like these guys are getting single filed out and trying to get some green flag laps, and so that'll help the learning curve here to learn who these drivers are and how they race. They've got a long way to go, 101 to go when they hit the line, so they've got plenty of time to kind of calm down and single file out here to make it to the end.
And that's right, and back up front, we still have that battle on now. Gary Milbacher in that 21 has passed the 48 machine of Dallas Miracle for 2nd position, and the 99 of Garrett Denton. Just a little bit of a lead there. Now the 48 is going to look to the inside as they work their way down the back straightaway. Heading into turn 3, they're both going to be able to hold it. It's a little loose. They're going to hang on to it. 48 looks like he's going to clear the 21, and here comes the 69, Dave Smalley, moving forward. He's going to take a look at 3rd.
The 21 getting hung out there all by himself, but he's trying to make it work. He's still hanging tough there with the 69 there of Dale Smalley. He's not going to be able to do it as they head to the turn. Now the 17 of Gordon Burke pops down underneath him. They nearly touch there, the 69 and the 17. That could have been ugly as they did that in the middle of the turn there. Everybody hangs on. The 21 still fighting by himself on the top side. He's going to make it work. He cuts down right in front of the 17. He gets into third place. A very risky move, but he's able to make it work, and everybody's still clean and green. And as I say that, the yellow comes out.
And that's right, caution flag flies. Trying to find the incident. They're still wrecking 71-24 in the wall, still well after the caution. Trying to see what caused this. I'm not too sure, but they've continued to wreck for well after the caution flag when it had initially come up. So obviously another incident. We got a little bit of a green flag running there. Not sure what that incident was about though.
Caution coming out here on lap number 27, the fourth yellow of the night. It's going to be a long night for these guys if they can't quite seem to get it going under a decent pace. A respectable run there, but another caution brings the race pace to a halt as we rewind it back to see what happened.
And yeah, they just saw it there on the E1, the number 56 of Daryl Cronkwright gets down low on the number 72. In turn number 4, and with these loose race cars, spun it right around in front of the 9 and the 00, I do believe that was. And they went into the wall. And again, an incident on the exit of the corner is not where you want to see it. 22 is involved, and it's real hard to control your car. 14 tried to dive down pit road to avoid it. T-bone that 56, just calamity corner. And that is the worst place to get a spin. You can barely control trying to get out of the way, and that's going to damage a lot of other cars.
Yeah, Evan, indeed it is. It's a tough break here for these guys, not getting off to the start that they want. But they'll try to get the repairs done and get back out there and go at it again here. They got some time to fix it up, and just looking through that replay again, I saw some problems there with the 24. It has not been his night. He blew a motor in the last crash and is involved in this one. That's a tough break for the number 24, Mario Gaudino. Some more cars involved there up at the top of the speedway involved. Actually now down in pit road, there was the 14 of Mark Montinieri. The 71 machine, that's Vincent Vinny. The 33 involved as well. That's Travis Brown. So quite a few cars going to be taken out in this accident.
And that's right, an interesting turn of events just now. That number 48 of Dallas Miracle, who we mentioned battling for the lead the majority of this beginning of the race. He has become disconnected from the race lobby. He has just reconnected, but he is going to lose a handful of laps. So definitely a tough break, and that's one of the factors you have to throw in when it comes to simulation racing, is not disconnecting. And tough break for that car. Looked very fast as he challenged the 99 for the majority of that.
Not only that, Evan, but Dallas comes in this race as the points leader, so that's going to hurt a ton. He's still got a lot of time to overcome this, but for right now, that's a pretty big blow to his points lead falling out of the server, and looks like he's going to lose at least 3 laps right now.
And that's right, and we see if we continue to get several cautions, there are 2 laps to go, by the way, until we go green. If we see a couple cautions, he may be able to get as many laps back as he can. We just see an EOL penalty, end of the longest line penalty, is given to Daryl Cronkwright. His number 56, he's going to be 20th position. He has to drop to the end of the longest line. And we see Eric Sharp is going to get the lucky dog. So, a long race, there's a lot of cautions. No one's saying that you still can't get up there with these lucky dogs. And eventually we're going to have to pit. We can't stay out there and fuel all night. So if you're a lap car and you try to stuff it out, get a caution at the right time, you can stay out, everybody else pits, you get your wave around, and then come in next time, fill it up, and try to get as many laps back as possible.
Yeah, absolutely there, Evan. They'll have a lot of opportunities here, and as the field comes off of turn number 4, they should be able to get the white flag, the one to go to green, and then we'll see these guys double up running through the lineup after that short green flag run. Garrett Denton still out front in his number 99 machine. Dale Smalley in the 69. He is in second with Gary Milbachler third. Gordon Burke fourth. Bryce Bouchard fifth. Michael Watkins sixth. Ron McMahon able to keep his car going the right way. He is seventh. James Brown eighth. Jared Treese ninth. And Donald King rounds out the top 10 in the number 23 machine.
And they've doubled them up, so we're going to be letting them go again next time by, as we're currently pacing in turns 1 and 2, trying to make sure everybody is getting sorted out in your right position. And we are going to be ready to rock and roll as they work their way down the back straightaway. Lap 30 of 125, so we are merely almost about a quarter of the way through this race. And we've seen 4 cautions, I do believe, 2 since we managed to get up here to watch this thing. So it looks like it's going to be one of those races. And it's not that it's the driving, but it's a combination of these race cars, which everybody seems not want to drive anymore now that they got rid of them, but definitely a classic on iRacing and such a fast track, some things you can't avoid. So it's going to be a survival of the fittest, definitely a good race, but that 99 Garrett Denton has been up front all night. Dale Smalley, he is second in points, and he is second on the track right now.
Pace car working his way through turn number 4, about ready to duck down onto pit road as it does right there. The field is in control of Garrett Denton through the quad oval. He hits the throttle. Green flag is out, and we are racing once again to complete lap 30. 95 to go. Garrett Denton and Dale Smalley stay even through the quad oval. No clear advantage quite yet. It's a drag race down into turn 1.
And definitely the number 11 of Bruce Bouchard got up to the bumper, that 21 of Gary Milbacher, in turn number 1, trying to give him a little bit of a boost. Now the 17 we see dropping back. That's Gordon Burke, trapped on the high side, getting freight trained by a handful of race cars as they go into turn number 3. But back up front for the lead, it's still Garrett Denton now being challenged by the 69 of Dale Smalley. We've seen the 99 up front pretty much for the majority of this race in that top 3 area. Dale Smalley slowly worked his way up. Now he's going to take a look for the lead here as they take lap number 32, still about a car length off.
Garrett Denton and Dale Smalley are kind of working together here, and they've put a couple callings between Gary Milbacher, Bruce Bouchard, and the rest of the field. Now Bouchard and Milbacher are trying to work that gap up as we got a car sideways off of turn number 2 into the inside wall, out back in front of the track, and this is going to cause some problems.
And definitely the 62 upside down on his lid as they work their way down the back straightaway. And I'm not sure if this was the initial cause of the caution, but the 62 had to check up, and 33 drove into the back of him, not anticipating that off the corner. And the 62 went down, hard contact with that inside wall, comes right back up onto the racetrack and gets clobbered by the 9 and 24 in another incident. And that sends that 62 flat spinning on his roof down Charlotte Motor Speedway's back straightaway. Definitely not what you want to see.
Yeah, not at all. A very horrendous ride there for Michael D'Amico's number 62 machine. He's sitting 2 laps down right now in 22nd place. A scary, scary ride for him. But looks like he is going to try to get things wrapped up here, and we'll figure out what goes on with him. A quick update for you all. Wayne Katner in the number 52 machine. He has pulled his car behind the wall. The winter net is down. He's climbing out. Looks like he is going to be done for the night. The 52 Wayne Katner out of tonight's event.
And that's right. It looks like the lucky dog's going to be the 56 of Daryl Crock right now as we pace. And we saw that number 48 Dallas Miracle back in the race. He's going to end up being 3 laps down on the racetrack with a fresh race car, and he's going to slowly want to work his way back up to the field as this race progresses, as we see another caution, a short green flag run there. And you mentioned you want to go full throttle, but if that rear end steps out on you, you're going to have to check up, and obviously the drivers behind you may not be anticipating that, and that's what led to that incident.
Indeed, they did, Evan. A slow start for the beginning portion of this race here for the Cora Sunday Money Series, running street stocks at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 1.5-mile NASCAR oval configuration is what they are running at here tonight. While they run under their caution pace laps here, we're going to step away for a quick break. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back here from Charlotte Motor Speedway for more Cora Sunday Money action at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Travis, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR highlight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cora Sunday Money Series here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We got street stocks taking on the 1.5 mile oval here tonight on June 2nd. The field is currently on the back straightaway. There you have the one to go, so we're half a lap away from going green flag. It's Garrett Denton out in front in his number 99 machine. He will bring the field back down to green flag in half a lap.
And that's right, it's definitely going to be a long night. We're currently working lap 36. We've seen a handful of cautions so far. Several drivers, including Mark Montaneri, saying, let's hope we got this out of our system. Ron McMahon wants to see some green flag pit stops. That's the driver's opinion. But we're getting ready to rock and roll as we work into turn number 4. It's going to be the 99 of Garrett Denton and the 69 of Dale Smalley will make up the front row. Now the first Racing Ford Mustang pace car dives to pit road. And we're going to wait for that green flag, and the 99 is going to lead them to the line.
Green flag is out. Garrett Denton is going. They hit the stripe. Lap 36 is complete, and the field heads down into turn number 1. No clear-cut advantage quite yet. Now Garrett Denton has the advantage into turn number 1. Gary Milbacher trying to get around Dale Smalley in the 69. Smalley's going to lose a bit of speed. He's going to be able to do it. And now the 11 machine of Bruce Bouchard is looking to the inside with the help of Michael Watkins and Ron McMahon on the inside.
And the 11 of Bruce Bouchard, they're now going to slide up the track. Almost came down on the 36 of Michael Watkins there in turn number 3. And it looked like that 21 of Gary Milbacher got the apron a little bit in turn 1, managed to hang on to it. That's how loose these cars are. And we're going to come by the stripe. It's still Garrett Denton out in front. Now Gary Milbacher, Dale Smalley are the top 3. They're single filed out, but we're side by side for 4th position with that 11 of Bruce Bouchard trying to work on the high side. He's trying to hold off a charging Michael Watkins as they work their way up turn number 2, down the back straightaway, dead even side by side.
Michael Watkins, Bruce Bouchard, no clear advantage quite yet. They're still side by side, dead even. Ron McMahon, if he can get up there and give some drafting help, he might be able to help in that battle, but Watkins is able to win it on his own. Bouchard fits in right behind him and tries to push him up to the rear bumper of the 69 at Dale Smalley. Ron McMahon looking a little bit high there. He falls back in line. He's got Gordon Burke right up on his rear end, starting to close in. McMahon gets a touch loose. He's able to hang on to it, nothing too big and severe. Single file throughout the first 12 or so, and then we got some side-by-side racing back in the 12th position, it looks like there. Going back there, indeed we do. 12th and 11th side-by-side with the 22, the 23, and a couple other drivers as well.
Yeah, you touched on that. I was watching that number 23 of Donald King. He was 10th last time across the stripe. He's dropped to 12th. He lost a handful of positions there. as they all got grouped up in turn number 1, and he got pinned on the high side off turn number 2, and it's just so hard to prevent dropping back at that point, because obviously it's a longer way around. You do get a little bit more speed off the corner if you can get to the gas right, but now they're not letting each other go side by side of the 15 of Jared Treese and Eric Sharp and his number 26. 26 gets a shot from the 48 into turn number 3. 15 slides way up the track, and he's going to lose all 3 of those spots.
48 machine, that is Dallas Miracle. He is currently sitting 3 laps down. He's running up here with some of these leaders, just trying to get into a comfort zone and race around, hopefully to try to get up there and take some of his laps back so he doesn't have to wait so long for the lucky dog. Being 3 laps down, it's going to take him a while to be able to get those laps back, especially where he can't really separate himself from anybody and make up those laps on his own time, because this is, like we had mentioned, pretty much a super speedway race. Oh, and now he got trouble. The 8 car sideways off at turn number 4. He's going to slide down into pit road. That is Alan Staring. No caution yet. He is off of the racing surface, and he's going to come back on through the infield. No caution. He straightens it back out. Just loses a lot of time and drops down to 15th.
And that is all it takes. He barely got those left side tires on that white line, as you saw on the replay there, and nothing he can do. He immediately locked that steering wheel right, locked up the tires real quick, and he coasted his way through the whole infield area. He is now working back on the back straightaway, trying to get back up. He's obviously going to lose a lot of positions, but that's a heck of a lot better than being in the garage with a torn out race car. Great job by that 8 driver of Alan Staring to keep that car somewhat under control and not wreck it into the inside wall.
Absolutely amazing car control by Alan Staring. He was able to save it, keep the caution flag away in its holster, and we stay green flag. Now looking back towards, still back in the pack, in which he was racing with the 22 machine of Brandon Cody. He was way high off of turn number 2. He is currently running at 11th. Him and Jared Treese, trying to get the names and numbers right. They were really close there in turn number 3 as this pack of 4 running 2x2 through the quad oval. Treese gets a little sideways with a rough entry. He's able to hang on though, and his number 15 National Guard machine. And down into turn 1, it's Brandon Cody who takes over the spot.
And the number 14 of Mark Montanari now goes to the inside of that number 15 of Jared Treese. He got the left side tires in the grass, that number 14 last time by. Here comes the 23, also Donald King looking to join the party. The 15 appears to be stuck on the high side. 14 is going to work his way by him. Now the 23 is going to look there. A little bit of a run on the 14. Cars sideways a little bit and a run off turn 4. 14 is going to pull up in front of the 15, and 23, 15 remain side by side by the straight.
At the line, I believe it's going to be the 23. Indeed it is, to the 12th spot. Jared Treese dropping back to 13th, and now Brandon Cody on the 22. He's able to run away from these guys after they were battling for a couple laps there. Brandon Cody running 10th place now, separating by about 6/10 over those 3 cars behind him, and trying to run down 9th place Eric Sharp, who is about 2 seconds in front of him.
In a battle for the lead, it's a 3-car battle with Michael Watkins in the number 36 in 4th, waiting in the wings. It's Garrett Denton, Dale Smalley, and Gary Mielbacher. Top 3, they are all running single file with no less than half a car length in between each other. Single file right now, obviously the lead pack right now. 69's looking to the bumper of that 99. I mean, he hasn't been able to get by him yet. Is he going to make a move into turn number 3? He's right up onto his bumper. Maybe contact into turn number 3.
He's able to hang on though, and they continue to run single file, a 4-car lead pack. These guys are all over each other, pushing and shoving down the straightaways through the turns. It's absolutely crazy racing here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's a lot different than Daytona and Talladega. Even though this is pretty much a super speedway race for these guys, it's not as wide, not as high of banking, and it's really hard to get something going on the top side to try to make passes here. Even with the help, it's very hard with these street stocks to make anything happen up top.
And definitely in the 21 takes a little bit of a look to the inside of the 69 there as they worked off turn number 4. He's going to think better of it. And they're really going at it. I mean, they just took lap 48, of 125 laps, so we're about just over a third of the way through this race. But they're definitely not laying off, and now Michael Watkins, who was hanging about a half second off them, his 36 car. He got right to the bumper. The 21 maybe had to check up. Went a little bit high off turn 2. He's going to pull back in line. So a 4-car lead breakaway. They have about one and a half second lead on the next car, which is the number 72, 5th place, Ron McMahon. And that's another big group of cars there battling for that position. So lots of pack racing, so to speak, in these cars.
Absolutely, Evan. It's not a surprise to see different packs, and we'll have to try to look at these intervals here, as both of the lead packs are single file, but it might just be the numbers game to see if that second pack can run up to that first pack there and try to contend there. It looked like there was a straggler on the end of the second pack who's just trying to keep up. That's Eric Sharp at the 9th place machine in the 26th. He's trying to get up to that pack and put in another car who's consistently running and to try to reel them in, but it might not be enough, because it seems that even though it's a 4-car pack, they've got the system down and they're running pretty well.
And that 72 car gets real loose. Ron McMahon off turn 2. He's now getting pushed as the 48 car. That's right, we've talked about him earlier. He left. He's back in the race. Dallas Miracle still 3 laps down. He's racing and passing these lead lap cars, which is not normally something you see from a lap car. You think maybe they have some issues. No, he disconnected. He came back, and he looks like he has a top 5 race car, but the problem's going to be getting his lap backs. And he has worked his way through the field, unfortunately not gaining any positions as he's lapped down, but definitely a good run for him. And then back up front, now our 4-car pack up front is maybe broken off into 2 tandems. The 99 of Garrett Denton and the 69 of Dale Smalley are together up front. And then it's Michael Watkins and the 21 of Gary Milbacher. Second pack, that is positions 3rd and 4th.
So now even these leaders are starting to kind of separate themselves, and this is by far the longest green flag run that these guys have had. It got off to a bit of a rough start. They understand where they were making their mistakes. They kind of calmed down, and they're turning some laps in. Right now they are on lap 52 of 125, so we've got 74 laps to go here. Still a very, very long race to go, and they understand that. They know that it's going to take a while to get there, and it's only going to be a little bit longer if they keep doing it under yellow. So we're green flag racing here. We're nice and smooth throughout this race, and like you had said, Evan, we're about a third of the way through. Still a lot more racing to go here, with 73 laps now to go.
And the 8 of Allen Staring, we saw him almost lose it off turn 4. He saved it. He is the last car on the lead lap. He's 5 seconds off of 14th position. He's running 15th. He still has about 20 seconds before he goes a lap down, so with the way that this race has gone early on, assuming we don't decide to get a big long green flag run, he should be okay with his lap and still be in contention, and that puts Daryl Conkrite in position for that lucky dog, and Brian Coveney right behind him. They about have a half straightaway separating them. So when the caution comes out, we'll slowly start to see drivers get back up on the lead lap, but up front it's still been the same deal with the 99 of Garrett Denton in the lead. And now the 69 falling off a little bit, and here comes the 36 of Michael Watkins to the inside. 21's going to look to the inside, 3 wide. 36 kind of come down. They're going to be 3 wide, it looks, maybe. Down the backstretch, 21's going to pull in behind the 36.
Some crazy racing there for the second spot. Now Dale Smalley stuck on the outside as they head into turn number 3. He can't quite get down and doesn't have the momentum to fend off Michael Watkins and Gary Milbacher. He's going to probably drop back off to 4th here, although he's not going to give it up easily. Leader Garrett Denton catching up to a lapped machine. That is going to be the number 71 of Vincent Vinny. He is currently running 23rd. 14 laps down. He's now 15 laps down. Some rear end damage to that number 71 Coca-Cola machine, keeping him from running at full song. And now that 3 wide racing between those guys behind him has let Garrett Denton open up to about a half a second lead.
And that's right, Gary Denton seems to have the strongest car so far. His last lap was a 36.28. Michael Watkins ran a 36.41. So he's slightly faster, definitely the fastest car on the track at the moment when it comes to lead lap cars, and he's been holding the lead ever since about the second caution. So good strong night for him so far. That 69 Dale Smalley has now been overcome by the number 36 of Michael Watkins. And Gary Milbacher, he was looking to go with that 36, but when they passed the lap traffic, couldn't get it done. He's going to settle for 4th. And then Gordon Burke about 3 seconds, off of Milbacher, and is going to be 5th position.
Well, we got a little calm in the action here. I want to give a quick update on some of the drivers here who have stepped away and are no longer here competing. Going through the lineup here, Gary Bauer, Mark Arthur, Kevin Inhabitant, Michael Damicchio, Wayne Kettner, Alan Larson, all off and out of this race. Vincent Vinny, the last driver running the 71 machine in 23rd. We had just mentioned him as he lost his 15th lap just momentarily. As it seems right now, the 99 Garrett Denton, he's able to start pulling away here a tremendous amount over Michael Watkins right now as they hit the stripe. He has 6/10 over Michael Watkins, Dale Smalley, and Gary Milbacher. So this is pretty interesting. I can honestly say I've never seen a single car pull away from a pack here at Charlotte.
And that's right, and we've seen, I believe one of the longest runs that we saw previous to this was just over 10 laps. And with these setups made, obviously you can go quite a distance longer than that on fuel. They're getting to go a lot farther. Now you can really tell how your car is going to act on the long run. And if I were to race in this, I'd probably be setting it up for a short run, just considering the track and what car and the way that these things do produce cautions. But now that we've gotten that long run, you mentioned Garrett Denton is definitely very strong. He's now opened up a 7/10 of a second lead on Michael Watkins for 1st position, and he is slowly pulling away as laps tick down.
That lead right now up to 7/10 of a second, a 36.350 out of Garrett Denton, and the drivers behind him 36.382. So they're actually running a little bit faster, but can't quite pull up to him just yet, as now he extends it now to a 0.77 second lead. So Garrett Denton's starting to pull away here.
And one thing that's definitely helping him with that is that second group there with the 36 of Michael Watkins, Dale Smalley, and Gary Milbacher for 3rd. Oh, as there we have 69 gets real loose on the backstretch. He's going to be able to hang on to it. That got wicked sideways as he got pinned in between the 36 and the 21. When they're racing each other, they're not going to be gaining position. If there's a car next to you, you can't run your preferred line, and that's just going to help Garrett Denton. And Dale Smalley got loose there. He's now going to be passed by the 21, I believe, of Gary Milbacher as they're side by side through the travel. That's going to be for 3rd.
Indeed he will. Milbacher going to come around in 3rd place, and that's going to allow Michael Watkins to kind of escape a little bit. And Garrett Denton continues to open up the lead 0.8 of a second now. And about half a second behind Watkins is Milbacher and Dale Smalley. Those two probably going to try to work together to get back up to Watkins, to try to work together to get back up to Denton, to help each other out and make it.
And yeah, the 11 car, Bruce Bouchard, just pushed that 17 all the way through the corner. He's going to pick up that 5th position, and right with them, again, that 48 Dallas Miracle, that lap car, he is gaining so many positions, and it's not helping him at all. So he's definitely hoping for some cautions. He looks like he has a fast race car, and if he doesn't, it's going to be a matter of what could have been just a disconnection from the server. Really heartbreaking for him. He was top 3. And he definitely has a strong car, so if we do see a couple cautions and he can get up there, watch for that race car. But yes, definitely the number 11, Bruce Bouchard, is now going to take over that final top 5 position in his number 11. And the 17, Gordon Burke, can't really get to him right now because the 48's in between them.
Off of turn 2 there, that last lap, the number 00 of James Brown got wicked sideways with the 72 of Ron McMahon. Brown actually went down and kissed the inside wall a little bit. He's got some pretty significant damage to the front and rear ends of his car. Not slowing him down tremendously, but that got him a little loose. He lost a couple spots, and he's now back down to 12th.
And something has to not be working right with that 71 of Vincent Vinny. You see, he's 15 laps down, and I have to give him props for not pulling into the garage. He's still out there running laps, but definitely appears to be off pace. His car looks like it really wants to push up, so obviously not the night that he was looking for. And you have to keep into account, in order to get into this race, you're going to have to qualify in races. So it's not like we have any bad drivers in here. Everyone here knows how to drive these. Maybe just a couple bad luck you mentioned. Some cars getting in the wall, some damage. And sometimes you need that luck on your side if you want to be able to do much. But back up front, still Garrett Denton.
Yeah, there's some serious problems with the number 71 of Vincent Vinny. He got wicked sideways in the middle of 1 and 2, dropped it down below the apron, and just gets back up onto the racing surface in turn number 3. Maybe that 15 lap down mark is it's too much to overcome for right now, and I know firsthand it's very, very frustrating when you're out there with a damaged race car. You're many laps down, and it's such a very unentertaining race when you have to just sit there and try to race for points instead of being able to compete, and just you're sitting there, you have nothing to do, no control over anything, just like sitting there hoping for somebody to crash out.
And that's right, he is currently 3rd in the overall point standings for this Cora series, so definitely great racer, obviously having a rough night. I'm looking, he obviously has some sort of toe issue in that car. He's really sawing away at that wheel, trying to keep it straight, especially in the trial, but he's got to keep it way to the left. So rough night for his machine right now.
Absolutely there, Evan. Looking through some of the leaderboard here, looks like Daryl Conkright and Brian Cavani have gone laps down. James Brown also has gone a lap down, and he's starting to drop down through the field. He's now lost 2 laps down, so he might have brought his damaged race car into the pits to try and get some of that repaired. After that contact on the inside wall might be a little bit too much to handle for right now, and he needs some repairs to get that fixed so he can at least get the car going the right way.
And I believe we are just hitting green flag pit stops. The number 17, Gordon Burke, 6th position, has just announced that he is going to come down pit road this time by. He drops to the apron in turns number 3 and 4, gave everybody a notice, and it's going to take him a long time to slow this thing down. Being careful with its slow pit road engines for that 6th position car as we start green flag pit stops.
Be interesting to see what these top guys can do on green flag pit stops to try to get back up to Garrett Denton, who has opened it up to a 1.5 second lead as those 2nd through 4th place cars, they have caught each other, and they're trying to work their way up through and back to Garrett Denton to be able to make something happen. But if they're going to be pitting here soon, they might want to separate out, because I'm sure there really isn't anywhere for them to pull down off of the racing line to slow up for pits. You kind of have to slow up on that bottom racing line, and when you're running in a pack like this, that could be treacherous.
And definitely all 3 of them, I guess they do think that this is Daytona for these cars, because they're just running single file, maybe trying to use the draft and team up and catch Garrett Denton. But when you look at the lap times, I mean, the person at the front of that pack there, which is Michael Watkins right now in the number 36 machine, his last lap was a 36.433. Garrett Denton up front ran a 10th faster than that on his own, so it'll be interesting to see what happens as they come by this by.
They're getting a report now from the number 17 camp. There's some sort of problem with that machine as he is just sitting there in the pits, not quite sure what the issue is with that car. They're trying to figure it out and try to get it back running and out onto the racing surface, but problems for the 17 to Gordon Burke as he has not yet left his pit stall.
And you have to wonder, maybe he entered, and we saw he entered real slow, maybe he ran it dry, down, emptied out the tank, and maybe the car stalled trying to get it refired. Maybe an internal issue in that car, but yes, he is definitely, he was up there. He was the 6th position when he came down pit road, but he is still just sitting there on pit road.
And now he is starting to pull away from his pit stall and get back onto the racing surface. He's lost 2 laps, so that is a tough break for that 17 machine. And it's going to take a while for him to get back onto the lead lap and back into contention for this one.
And definitely he is now entering the racetrack, currently 2 laps down. He'll probably lose another one by the time he gets back up to speed. I do believe is now the leader, though, Garrett Denton, as he's working a 1.8 second lead. And those 3 cars who are still trying to bump draft up to him, so to speak, they are still slower. Garrett Denton putting down great lap times. And when you compare this to his qualifying run, he just ran a 36.32. If you look, he qualified 2nd with a 36.23, but not many people made it to that mark. The top 4 were below the 36.3 mark. So unlike other race cars where you'll see the lap time drop even a second, these cars are pretty consistent throughout the run.
Yeah, absolutely, Evan. I
I still can't believe he's being able to pull away single-handedly. It's something that I've never seen before, and it really shows how open setups can really affect the racing, and really separate yourself from the rest of the field as he continues to open it up, and it's a 2.1 second gap here on lap 73. We got 52 laps to go when we hit the line.
And that's right, we mentioned with this open setup, when you race these in the rookie class, everybody has the same setup, so it's a completely different feel, and that they obviously have that car tuned in. He is running such consistent lap times in the 36.3s. And again, this 3-car pack, the common logic would state that they're all together and they're not trying to pass each other. I don't see anybody going too wide for that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position. They're all running in a line trying to help each other up, and they are still slower. That 99 car is on fire right now.
Yeah, it really is impressive. Other than the setup, I'm just trying to think maybe these guys they're trying too hard to stay in line in single file, and they're kind of moving up and down the racetrack. They're losing some speed, scrubbing off the tires, and it's just it's incredible how much faster Garrett Denton is compared to a 3-car pack, and it could lead to a very dominant win if it stays like this for the rest of the race for Garrett Denton.
And definitely, I'm watching. The only difference that I am seeing with him, he's in the 99. We're hearing he's running 2/10 faster consistently. Now we have a battle for 2nd position. Maybe they've given up on that idea. Now the 69 car, Dave Smalley, goes to the inside of the 36 of Michael Watkins in turn 4. He's going to relinquish that position also to the 21, and I believe drop back to 4. 21 gets a little bit sideways, and they're going to be side by side, battling now for 4th position. And the only thing that I was noticing between the 99 and those other cars is the 99 is pretty much painting that white line through the entire turn until he's just about ready to pull off of turn 2. And everybody else is running up higher, so maybe his car has a little bit better grip, but definitely a strong line and a strong race car for that 99 team.
Absolutely, those 3 guys back behind him, they probably realized that they weren't getting anything, so like, let's make it interesting and start racing up a little bit. As now you see the 21 hit the apron, and they get 99 Garrett Denton. They hit the apron, they go to the pit screen. Flag pit stop's now underway.
I'm going to keep an eye here on this 99. I don't think he's going to need any positions with a car like that. And what he doesn't want to see now is what can really screw someone's race over, and that is when you're pitting and a yellow flag would come out in the middle of green flag pit stops, because with a long pit road like this in these short cars, it's going to take a while, so you'll probably lose a lap. And when everything else goes through, I'm pretty sure we'll see Garrett Denton back in the lead, as he looks like he's going to probably put 4 tires on his car. And you really don't want to see that yellow come out, then that would be very poor timing. It's going to be a long pit stop. These are no Sprint Cup cars. It's going to take a while to get these things changed, but he should be ready to go.
Indeed, it will take a little bit of time, Evan, but it won't hurt him compared to everybody else. Everybody's going to have a slow pit stop. It takes a little bit longer for these big and heavy street stocks to get them up, get the tires on, put the fuel in there. A little bit slower to fuel these cars up, and that's what the majority of the time is given to. But right now, after that, Dale Smalley, Michael Watkins, they stayed out. They are currently your leaders by about 2.1 seconds over Bruce Bouchard and Eric Sharp in 4th. Ron McMahon rounds out the top 5 as they run right now. And Brandon Cody up in 6th place. He was back in about 10th just a little while ago, so he's starting to slowly move his way through the field. And maybe this green flag pit stop, he can throw a wrench into the strategy and maybe get up there to contend a little bit. As just out in front of these leaders, Verlis Falcons come out and comes out of the pits and almost poses a problem for these guys, but he stays clear and we stay green.
And that took over a minute for a pit stop. That was a 1:04 pit stop. And you saw the tires get done relatively quickly. You saw there's only 2 crew guys though there. You don't have 8 people coming over the wall. Got to get those tires fixed. And he's in constant communication with the gas man. Get all that gas in there and then get going and see. You can see right now he's being shown a lap down, or 2 laps down actually. But of course all the cars in front of him have not pitted. But that's where a caution in the middle of these kind of pit stops could really throw a curveball into this race, as he is currently dropped back to 16th position as he waits for cars in front of him to pit.
Yeah, that's a big game changer there, and hopefully there's enough fuel in that machine to go on and finish this race. We've got
45 to go as the leaders just hit the line right now as these two starting to push each other around the racetrack. They have the lap machine of Gary Milbacher just in front of Milbacher, almost 3 laps down now as he's lost 2 and he's got the 2 leaders right behind him. So he might be in a position to fall 3 laps down, and not that far off these leaders is Dallas Miracle, so he might actually lose a spot if he continues to drop back.
And that's right. Normally, pitting as soon as possible could be better. I mean, if you stay out there, you get the fresh tires, your lap times will be slowly faster than everyone stays out. But we mentioned the lap times are pretty consistent, so it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for these other people to pit right now, as Garen Detton still remains 2 laps down in the 16th position. And we saw a bunch of people come down for pits, and now we're kind of hitting a midway point, maybe people on different fuel strategy trying to stretch it to make sure they can make it to the end. So it'll be interesting as the 69 now is getting passed by the 36 of Michael Watkins for first position.
Currently working through green flag pit stops now, Michael Watkins makes his way into the lead to complete lap 82. 43 laps remaining here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, running on a 1.5-mile NASCAR oval in the street stocks for the Cora Sunday Night Money Series. We're going to step away here for a few moments, take a quick commercial break, and we will be back to bring you some more racing action from the Charlotte Motor Speedway here for the Cora Sunday Money. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
plus other listeners where you could hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Sunday Money CORA Series. We are running street stocks at the Charlotte Motor Speedway here tonight for 125 laps. We are currently running on lap 89, and Michael Watkins' number 36 machine is currently your race leader with a mirror full of Dale Smalley in his 69 machine. Some drivers now in the middle of green flag pit stops, and we are just getting word that the number 36 of Michael Watkins, your race leader, will be coming down to make his green flag pit stop now on lap 90. 35 laps to go when they hit the line. He should definitely be able to make it all the way from there. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it doesn't screw him over with this strategy, and we stay green.
And it'll definitely be interesting. We saw the 99 of Garrett Denton, who was the leader, and he had a pretty significant lead. Took 1 minute and 4 seconds. And most of that was for fuel. And when you're looking at these guys, fuel's the major part of their pit stop, and they're not going to have to fill it up as much. And right now, Garrett Denton sits 6th place, 2 laps down, which means that everybody in front of him is yet to pit, which is Brian Coveney, Donald King, Mark Montanari, Michael Watkins, who just hit pit road, and the 69 of Dave Smalley, who has stayed out in the lead. So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually beat Denton at a pit road when they have to fill it up with less fuel.
Yeah, absolutely, Evan. It'll definitely be quite interesting to see once these pit road stops cycle their way through, and we see how everything lines up. And I'm sure it's going to be a very entertaining run to the finish once we get things cycled through. It was a rough start for these guys here tonight. They had about 4 cautions within the first 25 laps or so. But they settled it out. They've gone green for at least 50 laps or so now, and they got the cobwebs out of the way, and they're running very strong right now with just 33 laps to go.
Yeah, early on it looked like the pace car was challenging Garrett Denton for most laps led, but they've definitely settled in to a groove at this point in the race, as where your leader Dale Smalley, one of only 3 cars on the lead lap who have yet to pit so far, works lap 93 of 125. Things have certainly moved very quickly since we've got this long green flag run, as they run about 36 seconds per lap. And you see the 99 Garrett Denton, who was the leader. He is still 6th position now.
Yeah, Garrett Denton moved his way up to the 6th spot, but still sitting 2 laps down. But that might change as our leader, Dale Smalley, in the 69, makes the hard left turn down onto pit road, gets it down to 45 miles an hour by the yellow cones, and he will make the voyage down pit road for his stop here on lap number 93. That will hand the lead over to Mike Montanari in the number 14 machine once he comes around. And Dale Smalley pulls into his pit stall right now, a clean entry in, and he looks to be good on his pit entry.
And Michael Langley also, his number 39 top 10 car, he just came down for his pit stop. He was 2 laps down before pitting, so a rough night for him. He's going to come down, fill it up with gas, and make it to the end. And you know, the 69 Dale Smalley, who stayed out, he's sitting down on pit road, getting his repairs, gas, new tires, everything done to his race car, which I believe will assume the position of leader to the number 14 of Mark Montanari right now.
A quick update that I just seen handed to us, the number 15 machine, Jared Treese. We talked about him a little earlier on. For some battles, he came down to make his pit stop, and something went amiss in that pit stop. And in that car, Jared Treese having to pull it behind the wall. He is out of the race, and we have a caution out on the speedway, and this changes everything.
And we were so close to avoiding this, and I brought it up earlier. This is not what you want to see. And with such long green flag pit stops, it increases the chance of it more. And now Garrett Denton, who is about to reassume the position, he's 5th place. He is 2 laps down. There are 2 cars in front of him, only 1 lap down, and that's Dale Smalley. So Dale Smalley may be the big beneficiary out of this, as Garrett Denton will not be the lucky dog recipient.
Problems for the number 33 machine of Travis Brown, bringing out the caution. Looks like in turn number 1, he ran a little bit high, got it a little loose, wiggled, snapped on him. He went down to the bottom side of the racetrack, spun up, made some hard contact with the outside wall in turn number 2. Had some traffic passing by at the time, so the caution flag came out. Travis Brown, a single car spin, brings out the yellow flag and brings in the game changer for this race. I'm sure there are some drivers not too happy about that, but unfortunately that's the animal of the beast there. So I'm sure that brought a smile to Mark Montinieri's face, but not for guys like Garrett Denton, Dale Smalley, Michael Watkins, those drivers who looked like they were going to be the ones to fight it out, might not have the chance to do so anymore.
And that's just the luck of the draw. You see only 2 cars right now are on the lead lap, and they're both on pit road. That's the number 14 of Mark Montinieri and the 23 of Donald King, who haven't necessarily been up front, so to speak, right there all night. They stayed out, and that's going to benefit them, as now the 3 is going to beat the 23 off of pit road. That'll definitely be interesting. Number 14, Mark Montinieri, is already out there. He is currently being showed as your race leader.
Mark Montinieri and Donald King, the only 2 drivers on the lead lap, and that's how it's going to stay. The guys behind him were 2 laps down when the yellow came out. Brian Coveney, Dale Smalley, Garrett Denton, Eric Sharp. They will get 1 of their laps back, but they're going to be 1 lap down when we go green flag racing. Alan Staring, Michael Watkins, Mario Gaudino, Bryce Bouchard, Dallas Miracle, Gary Milbackler, Brandon Cody, Ron McMahon, James Wilkins, all 2 laps down, and those 2 lap down drivers go back from 17th all the way through to 15th. So unless we get another caution, this is going to stay a 2-car race, and even if we do get cautions, there's going to be very few people who are going to be able to contend for this win.
And definitely, when you're thinking that you're winding down the laps, you're seeing your relative, the people in front of you are starting to drop away, and you know that you are very consistent. And then the caution, and just merely laps away from the end of green flag pit stops, and such a heartbreak, especially for Garrett Denton, who dominated this race early on. He is a lap down. Along positions 3rd through 13th right now are a lap down.
Yeah, that's a very, very tough break. And looking at the race control, they are going to be giving the number 19 machine of Brian Coveney the lucky dog. So he's ahead of the leaders now, so I think that's only going to get him to the tail end of the field as a lap down car, unless they decide that they'll give him another lap for the actual lucky dog, because they gave them the lucky dog late. So they have him scored right now as one of the wave around drivers. So we'll have to see how that all plays out, and we will update you as soon as we get the information fed.
And definitely, you see, he is still driving around the track, getting laps back. We're still pacing, and it's obviously race control is busy working out to see who is on the lead lap, because it was Mark Montinieri, Donald King, now Brian Coveney now is back on the lead lap, but those 3 guys now are behind a whole bunch of cars that are a lap down. So it's definitely going to be very interesting if they don't advance. I'm pretty sure we're going to let the lead. Oh, as the 19, Brian Coveney almost spins, getting his lap back in turn 3. Close call.
Yeah, that's one thing that you don't want to do when you get your lap back, is make yourself look like a fool and crash it on the way around. Looks like he is going to be brought back onto the lead lap. So that's going to give us 3 cars to contend for this lead and for the win here with, I'm going to assume, 25 laps to go when we go green. I don't think we have the 1 to green quite yet. I could be mistaken, though. Not 100% sure. Actually, no, yes, we are going green this time by. So it's going to be a 3-car lead pack here when we, 3 cars fighting in the lead pack for the lead.
And you saw everybody they have just brought in the caution back out. They had to delay it because there were so many cars that had to get that wave around there. As you saw, the 14 and the 23, they pitted because they were yet to do so, so they were the leaders. And then the 19 got the wave around. Everybody else, since they had already done their green flag pit stop, stayed out. So we have a whole ton of cars that are getting their wave around. So we should get a couple more cars here on the lead lap.
A little confusion going on here right now, but these guys going to get it settled out, and we should have a fairly entertaining finish here. We're going to have 25 laps of green flag racing once we get the green flag here this next time by, and we go back racing. To give you a little update on everything now that things are kind of back into normal. We have 3 cars on the lead lap right now. Your leader in the number 14 machine is Mike Montinieri. The 23 of Donald King is second, and Brian Covaney, the lucky dog, this last yellow. The number 19 machine in third place. Positions 4 through 12, 1 lap down. Positions 13 through 16, 2 laps down. 3 laps down for the 17th and 18th place spots, and from 19th on back, cars 4+ laps down and out of the race. Looks like Brian Covaney as the lucky dog is going to have to go to the tail end of the field, which is going to put him behind all these lap down cars. And actually, it looks like the field's single file, so we might not be going green flag this time, as they're still trying to figure something out. Nope, the pace car is off of the racing surface, and we will be going green.
And it's the 14, Mark Montanari, taking him to the green flag. He is side by side with Donald King in the 23. That's it for lead lap cars up here. You saw Brian Covaney had to get the EOL as he did get that lucky dog position. So it's a 2-horse race right now, and right behind him the number 48, Dallas Miracle again. He has worked his way up, but again, because he lost those laps, he's still sitting the first car 2 laps down. So no matter how much he moves up, that's not going to help him. He's going to need a handful of cautions here, as now he's pushing the 23 down the backstretch.
Yeah, I think at Dallas Miracle, we talked about him earlier. He's the points leader. He's currently running 2 laps down in 13th place. After all that has happened, this is going to be a huge shakeup of the points after this event. It's going to be pretty incredible to see what happens throughout this, and we got a caution.
And there's a caution almost immediately. Not too sure what that incident was from. You just see the 19 now. Brian Covaney is hitting down pit road. Not sure what that is about. And we have another car. 33 appears to be damaged. That was from previous damage, so we are not too sure what the caution was for.
Looks like the cause of the caution off at turn number 4, the 21 machine, Gary Milbacher. We saw him running up into the top 4 the entire night before the pit stops and the caution. He just lost it off at turn number 4, spun through the infield, was able to keep it off the wall and out of harm's way, spins it back down to the racetrack and gets it refired and back going. And so a tough break for him, and if I am going to be correct on this assumption, the number 69 machine of Dale Somali will be your lucky dog recipient under this yellow flag.
And Gary Milbacher was working through, and the number 66 was up in the wall, and I think he was trying to keep it off him. They were going near 3 wide, and he ended up spinning out trying to avoid that. But we're going to step away real quick as we pace on lap 102. Don't go away. We'll come back to finish this thing off here. It's the CORA Sunday Money Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll be right back.
listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 to the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR iRacing. Welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway here in Concord, North Carolina. The Cora Sunday Money Series running street stocks here tonight. 125 laps. We're currently pacing under caution. The field working their way through turns 3 and 4 right now. Lap 105, 20 laps to go when they hit the line. Currently out in front is the number 14 machine of Mark Montinieri. The number 23 of Donald King in second. Dale Smalley is going to be third place. And it looks like our other lead lap driver that was on the lead lap, the number 19 of Brian Covani, looks like he had some problems, went to pits, and has lost a lap. So we will continue to have 3 cars on the lead lap once we go green, and that should be in 1 lap.
And Dave Smalley in the 69 machine, he was the only car that was really challenging the 99 of Garrett and Denton back before the caution came out. That really shook up this entire race. He just received the lucky dog for being the first car a lap down, so we will have 3 cars on the lead lap, but it's going to be the front row 14 and the 23 lights are off on the pace car, and we're going to get ready to go with just under 19 laps.
Indeed, it will be 19 laps around this 1.5 mile quad oval speedway to figure out a winner between these 2 drivers. The only downside of getting a lucky dog for Dale Smalley is that he has to start all the way behind at the back of the field. So he has all these lap down cars to have to deal with before he can even get to the leaders, and I don't think that's going to be possible to do under this green flag run. But who knows? Anything can happen, and probably will happen as the field works through 3 and 4. Pace car about ready to duck down into pit road, and we're getting ready to go green flag racing once again.
And that's right, it's going to be very difficult, nearly impossible for him to do that. A caution would definitely help him maybe, but we're getting ready. We're going to work off of turn number 4, and that first racing Ford Mustang pace car is going to dive down to pit row with that sharp left-hander there. And the field is in the hands of the number 14 of Mark Montanari. Green flag flies, and we are green at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Montinieri gets a great restart. He's going to jump out to the early race lead. Now we have the number 24 of Mario Gaudino. He's going to peek to the inside of the 23 machine and force as a problem. That's Garrett Denton in the 99 behind, pushing him through. Michael Watkins, he makes his way past through the 23. Now Denton looks to the inside. Oh, big problem for Donald King. He's getting hung out, and Mark Montinieri going to gap him with some lap cars. Montinieri looking good heading into turn 3.
And that's right, we have 2 separate races going on right now. We have the 14 and the 23 for the lead. And then we have a battle for first car a lap down, which is going on between the 99 and the 36 of Garrett Denton and Michael Watkins respectively, because if we see another caution, now everyone's grouped back up, you want to have a shot to get back on the lead lap, and those are the two dominant cars of the day, so there's two battles right up front.
We almost did have that caution there, Evan, in the back of the field. Verlis Felkins' number 66 machine bounced off the quad oval wall, and now in the backstretch we got the 33 machine going around. He is into the inside wall hard. His motor is smoking down on the back straightaway, and we have a caution flag. Not sure if anything happening up front. Oh yeah, we got cars upside down. The 36 of Michael Watkins. Big problems.
And that was that second battle, the 36 and the 99. Here the 99 came over the race. The 36 was all over the racetrack. The 24 got a little bit off of the bumper of the 14 machine of Mark Montanari. And 36 checked up, and 99 bumped him as they came off the corner. And that turned the 36 right in front of the 26 and the 8. He went hard into the outside wall. And again, the caution is right off the corner where you have very little control. You've seen it there on the E1. And he got slammed by the 21 car, got airborne, and went flipping down the front straightaway. And how tides can change. First, you're battling for that lucky dog position, and now you're sitting on your roof and in the garage. So, tough break there.
Indeed, a very tough break for the number 36 of Michael Watkins. Had that first original caution had not come out, he probably could have been a driver contending for the win here tonight. Mario Gaudino was 2 laps down, so I'm not 100% sure how they work their lucky dog system, whether it's just involved or the cause. If they go by drivers involved, I'm going to assume the lucky dog is going to be the 72 of Ron McMahon. Garrett Denton was the cause of the spin, and then the other lucky dog drivers at the time were involved in the crash. So, if it is the first driver, then it will be Garrett Denton. If not, if they go by drivers involved, then it might be Ron McMahon who gets the lucky dog here. Not too sure where Dale Smalley was able to line up, but I think he's going to be able to move up behind the leaders, so he might be able to have a shot at this one now.
And yes, the one other car that was being shown on the lead lap with Mark Montanari and Dale Smalley is Donald King and his number 23 machine. He got caught up in that incident, and he's sitting on pit road, so it will be interesting to see, but Mark Montanari looks hard to beat right now as we continue to pace. Cautions breed cautions. Are we done wrecking? We're not sure. We're going to have to wait till we go back green flag racing to find out, but we're currently pacing lap 110, and these laps are ticking away.
Yeah, Evan, had I continued the replay from where I was at, I would have seen that Ron McMahon and that Donald King got caught up in the wreck as well. So I'm really not sure who the lucky dog is going to be at under this yellow, but we will find out here momentarily. Involved in the crash was the number 11 machine of Bruce Bouchard. Bouchard done for the remainder of this race. He has climbed out of the cockpit of that number 11 machine, and he is taking off the safety gear, putting it back in the race car, and preparing to watch this one from outside the cockpit of his machine. A tough night for Bruce. He had a shot to contend here as well, and with about 15 laps to go, he will be done for the night.
And yes, race control is currently discussing, as you mentioned, maybe cause of the caution would strip the 99 of that position. They're currently talking, trying to sort things out, and now the 69 of Dale Smalley, who is arguably the second strongest car of the night besides that 99, has gotten back to the front. He did get the wave last time by. He's going to get it now. He's going to group back up past all those lap cars, and now the 69 is going to pull up with the 14, and it's a two-horse race right now.
We just saw the 24 machine of Mario Gaudino go around the pace car in the field. He is currently sitting 2 laps down, so he will get 1 lap back. Not too sure why that happens. Still trying to get things sorted out. I'm sure that they want to figure this out to get as many cars to compete for this win as possible. But we will pass along any information as soon as we are aware of the situation at hand.
And radio chatter is very busy. We heard 24 was told to get the lucky dog. He's the first car 2 laps down, which is rather interesting. But then it never cycled through on the scoring, so he had to check back up now. And everyone's just trying to get things sorted out. The lights on the pace car are off. They're probably going to light those back up unless everything has been sorted out. I haven't seen anyone get a lucky dog yet, so I believe they may delay it, but right now the pace car's lights are off.
Yeah, this is a big mix-up, and I just heard over race control there that Garrett Denton not happy that he is not being considered the lucky dog. He feels like the 36 of Michael Watkins cut him off to cause the caution. And as we have just heard, the race control here for the Cora Sunday Money Series deciding that there will be no lucky dog this caution, and they will be giving Garrett Denton an EOL black flag penalty for the cause of the caution. They might extend the caution here so we can drop back there as they're 1 to go in turns 3 and 4. We'll see what happens.
And that's the tough call that you have to make, knowing obviously wasn't on purpose, but it did bring out the caution. So it's right now 2 cars only on the lead lap. 2-horse race, the 14 of Mark Montanari on the inside of the 69 of Dale Smalley. Green flag flies, and they're going to come across the line to take lap 113. And it'll be interesting with only 2 cars really in contention for this win, but lap cars all over right behind them. So it'll be interesting to see if those play a factor in the finish of this race.
Absolutely, Evan. A good restart for both leaders. Smalley was able to get down right behind the 14 machine, and we have a caution already, and we're going back to the roots down from the beginning of the race here as we're starting to have some caution problems. We're going to go back and take a look at what happened here. I see the 99 of Garrett Denton with some damage. I'm not too sure what happened here. We're taking a look. Looks like Gary Milbacher got a little checked up, and him and Garrett Denton made some contact. Denton spun around, hit the wall, and that's just salt in the open wound for Garrett Denton. He had such a dominant race car. Had that yellow not come out during the green flag pit stops, I know for a fact we would have seen him in victory lane. Just was the cause of the caution before this. Now he's involved with this caution. Just horrible night for Garrett Denton, and I'm sure he's not too happy inside the cockpit of that number 99 car.
And that's why sometimes you hear them say it's better to be lucky than good, and definitely the skill is on the side of the 99, but not the luck tonight. 21 did not get going on the restart, and if you look, 99 did get a little bit loose under him and come up into the 21 into turn number 1, and then ended up sending her around, as you mentioned, salt in an open wound. And really tough night for that 99 team. Such a heartbreak. They had such a great car. Dialed in that setup, probably worked on it throughout the week. And that car was so dominant, he was able to pull away from everybody. Something that you don't normally see in this kind of racing. And unfortunately, when it comes down to it, he's not going to be able to get it done. And I do believe Brandon Cody in the 22 machine, someone we haven't really talked about all night, he's currently sitting 3rd. So he may be the recipient of that lucky dog. But that would put him behind a bunch of other lap cars, so unless we get another quick caution to bring him back up to the front, I think it's still going to be decided between these 2 cars up here.
Yeah, I do believe there, Evan, that the 22 of Brandon Cody is going to be the lucky dog recipient, and not by much. Ron McMahon was on a charge on the inside coming off a turn, but the caution came out just in the favor for Brandon Cody. He's going to need another caution to be able to contend for this lead. But hopefully that doesn't happen, and we can finish this one under green flag racing and get this one in the books here for the Cora Sunday Money Series.
And definitely laps are really winding down, and this is taking us back to what we saw at the beginning of the race. We had a bunch of cautions, frustrated drivers, and with this league not being... Obviously, we have our regulars, and that's how we get the points, but some of these people you've never raced before, you don't know their driving style, so you can't really hold as much less of a temper with them. Maybe someone does you wrong, you don't really know them, you might take exception, so you have to keep your emotions in control in this kind of race. And then we got a long green flag run, and we were about to cycle through green flag pit stops when the caution changed this whole race and left only a handful of cars on the lead lap. Right now we only have 2, and the 99 is going to receive another EOL penalty for being the cause of the caution. Ouch.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not going to make him happy at all. He might be going in to talk with the race officials after this one. I just it's been such a rough night, and you gotta feel bad for the guy. Hands down, the fastest driver here got screwed over from the lead from something totally out of his control, and then just racing around a lot more people than he was used to in the majority of the race. Made some contact, spun a guy around, and then trying to work his way back through the field, and just made some more contact, and around he went and into the wall. So it's a terrible situation. You gotta feel bad for the guy, but hopefully he can sleep on it tonight and get over it here this next week and come back next week strong and look for some redemption.
And definitely, you just saw it there from that overhead shot. The 22 car right now, Brandon Cody, currently getting his lap back, which means we will probably get the one to go to green next time by for him. Race Control has just announced that is the last wave around of the night. Under 10 laps to go, they will not issue anymore. So it's going to be decided with these three drivers. The only hope that Brandon Cody has, really, if he's fine with the top three, I mean, you still get a nice cash payout for that. Hang back there behind all these lap cars, try not to get caught up and lose another lap. You get third. If there's another caution, he can go around and battle for the win, which brings into mind that the number 72 of Ron McMahon, 23 of Donald King, and they're all battling right now for 4th and 5th, which are also money payout positions, but they're all a lap down, so there's definitely still a lot of undecideds here.
Absolutely, Evan. As the field has taken the one to go this time by. We're going to have 8 laps of green flag racing when they come around and take the green flag. Hopefully they can stay green flag and we can see a really good battle for the lead and a good race for the win here. We'll just have to see. It's been an up and down night here for sure, and hopefully it's an up at the end.
And definitely the lights are off on the pace car, so it's going to be the number 14 of Mark Montanari on the inside. Right next to him, Dale Smalley in the 69 car. They make up the front row. Brandon Cody in third position. He is at the back of this handful of lap down cars. And then we have Ron McMahon in the 72 and Gary Millenbacher in the 21, who are fairly spread out still. They're laps down, so it's really interesting to see how this is going to finish, but it's going to be a 1v1 drag to the finish here as we work our way off turn number 4. They're going to have to wait till the green flag. There goes that sharp left turn from the Ford Racing pace car, and we're going to wait for the green flag. They're going to get side by side, and the green flag flies. Huge start for the 14.
A massive restart for the 14 of Mark Montanari. He's going to get it out to a good lead. Dale Smalley is able to clear it down on the bottom side and drop down. He just got to reel him back in and not worried about anybody behind him. Maybe he can try to talk to some of them, get them to work with him, and maybe try an outside move. It's not very easy to make something happen on the outside, but you know that Mark is not going to give up that inside line for anything.
And that's right. I'm not sure if the 69 may have spun the tires, but I have not seen the car on the outside have such a bad restart all night. And he may be beating himself up for that, just got caught up in a moment. But he has gained some of that time back as they hit lap 119.
7 laps to go. Mark Montanari versus Dale Smalley to figure it out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Cora Sunday Money Series. Left positions being battled out here as well. Ron McMahon just behind Dale Smalley. He is currently in 4th place. Brandon Cody running 3rd on the lead lap, about 5 seconds behind these two leaders. He had to start at the tail end of the field. He's really out of contention to try to do anything for the win. He just got to try to sit back there and bring this car home in one piece, while Dale Smalley looks to the outside at the start-finish line to try to take the lead away. Not going to happen at the line, but he's still working into turn 1.
And I was about to count that 69 car out, but here he comes, 14 with no speed, it appears, worn tires, and 69 is going to look to the bumper. He's going to go to the high side, down the back straightaway. Keep in mind, we have a bunch of cars grouped up. The caution could fly at any time to end the race. They are side by side into turn number 3. Give the advantage to the 14 on the inside. He gets loose, pushes up the track, back down to that white line, and 69 is going to pull in line as they hit the front stretch.
These guys have done a great job from separating themselves from the majority of the field, but Ron McMahon, 4th place car, 1 lap down. He can and probably will have an effect on the finish of this race. I don't think he cares too much. He kind of wants a good seat to see it, but he might want to have a bit of a factor in it. Not too sure if he's got teammates or friends within these top 2. Same thing with Mario Gardino. It's been a rough night for him. He's got his car back out there. He's just going to chill out, watch this finish. As Dale Smalley, he's not giving up. He's going to make that top side work if it kills him. Oh boy, Mark Montinieri hit the apron, washed up a little bit ahead to cause Dale Smalley to move up a little bit to keep him from having some contact. If these two wreck, Brandon Cody way back there, he might have a chance to pick up a surprise win out of nowhere. So we got to keep an eye on that. If the caution flies, it probably and definitely will end this race. They get the white flag, they'll be able to race it back. As now Ron McMahon pushes Dale Smalley to the top side and try to get him around Mark Montinieri for the lead.
And that's right, we saw the number 69, Dale Smalley. He got up there so quickly, but he can't make the pass. And the 14 has no intentions of letting that bottom line go. They are so close off of turn number 4. If this was the last lap, they would be side by side. They're still side by side. Give the advantage to the 69 this time by 9/10 thousandths of a second as they work into turn number 1. They are still side by side. 14 hanging on for dear life with a loose race car, trying to keep that car stuck to the white line. And 69 of Dale Smalley is still right there.
The thing that's helping Smalley in that 69, he's getting the runs coming off of the turn, running the top side, but it's not enough for him to be able to clear down the straightaway and do something. If he can get some good speed through 3 and 4 on the last lap and get a good run, he might be able to nick him, as he did that last time by. This time, though, I think it's going to go to Montinieri. No, it went to Smalley by a bigger margin. So right now the advantage is with Dale Smalley on the top side with 2 laps to go.
And definitely he's now 17 thousandths of a second ahead as opposed to 9 before. They're going to get real close into turn number 3. They've still been side by side for the last 4 laps. That 72 car has dropped off. He's no longer up in it. It's going to be these guys. Good hard race to the end, side by side.
Here they come down through the quad over to the start-finish line. They're going to be able to take the white flag. Oh, no! They didn't! Caution flag comes out an instant before. Oh, no!
Smalley is your winner.
Instant before they hit the start-finish line. As I was saying it, the caution comes out by 1/1000th of a second at the line. I think it's going to go to Dale Smalley.
And the caution came out right as they were coming to the line, and the advantage was to Montinieri as he gained 17 thousandths of a second that previous lap, and that was going to be a heck of a finish. And right as they were about 5 feet from the start-finish line, the caution came flying up out of the spotter's hand at the last second. And the last scoring loop will be that start-finish line. You're seeing it on the replay there. An absolutely amazing finish. 1/1000th of a second in a street stock at Charlotte.
Absolutely incredible. Dale Smalley and the 69 machine is going to pick up the win here in the Cora Sunday Money Series. Mark Montinieri is going to finish in 2nd, Brandon Cody 3rd. We will talk to those 3 after the upcoming break here in a few moments. Ron McMahon 4th, Gary Milbackler 5th, Donald King 6th, Garrett Denton 7th, Michael Watkins 8th, Mario Gardino 9th, and Brian Coveni 10th to run out the top 10.
And what a finish. And you mentioned if they take the white flag, they'd race it back to the line, and those guys have been side by side since 5 laps to go. And it looked like Dale Smalley may have had an advantage the previous few laps, but then Mark Montinieri, he was getting it back, and right as they crossed the line, the caution came out. And the only scoring line at this track that they would revert to is the start-finish line, and the caution flew right then. And those are the finishes that you expect to see in a Chevrolet SS, Fords, whatever, when you're racing at Daytona. I've never seen anything like that in a street stock at Charlotte 125 laps later.
Yeah, that is just absolutely incredible. We are, I not too sure if we're stepping away before we do interviews or if we're doing them right here and now, waiting for a word. We're going to stay here live, and we're going to get the interviews in here and talk to them here momentarily.
And that's right now, joining us on the radio, Dale Smalley, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
Man, what a show. You guys were side by side for the final 5 laps. You were about to take the white flag when the caution flew. 1,000th of a second. Tell us about that last restart. We know that you dropped back a bit, then you battled hard on the outside and you managed to get it done.
Yeah, it was a pretty good restart. He got a little jump on me, and I managed to come back, though. Just caught the draft a little bit and caught right back up with him.
And definitely such close at the finish, and you got that barely. If you guys had taken the white flag, do you think that run off turns 3 and 4 would have sealed the deal for you and you still would have been in victory lane?
I think so. I kept getting a little edge on him there coming off the turn on the front stretch, so I think I might could have still got him.
And we saw right as we were finishing green flag pit stops, as you guys watched the replay there, that we lost the majority of the cars. You managed to stay out instead of coming in early. Was there any strategy to try to stay out there? Were you banking on a caution or just trying to run it to get save as much time as you needed on pit stops when you came in for fuel?
Yeah, I was really hoping a caution had come out before I had to pit, because I was a lap up on everybody there for a little while, but it ended up working out in my favor. I was glad it worked out the way it did.
And definitely you're going to take home the win, one of 3 cars on the lead lap, and you did it in fashionable style. And any shout-outs you want to throw out there to anybody watching, anyone that's helped you prepare for this race?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Dallas Markle. He's my chassis man, gave me a great setup. And I'd like to thank his cable provider, Eastlink Cable, because he got booted, or else he'd be sitting here talking to y'all right now, because he had a better set than I did.
And definitely a humorous but happy number 69, Dale Smalley. He's your winner tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. After 125 laps, he's going to take the checkered flag first in the Cora Sunday Money Series by 1,000th of a second.
Absolutely incredible finish here to a questionable race here. I'm sure it's a bit of a disappointment here for Mark Montanieri. Mark, as I was saying, they're going to come down and take the white flag. The yellow came out, and I'm sure that just destroyed you inside, not being able to get that chance to battle with Dale Smalley for the win.
Oh, definitely, Kyle. I thought I had a legitimate shot at it, and things were going good there until that last little bit.
We had seen a huge chain of events happen right after that really long green flag run that happens. It shuffled up the field so much, and all of a sudden you were the man to beat. You were put up front, and it was just a matter of how many people were going to be able to contend with you. What was going through your mind when that caution came out and you knew that you were in the lead and pretty much 98% of the field was lapped?
Well, I knew it was going to be a fuel mileage race even towards the beginning. I figured it would clear up eventually, and I just kept pitting early on and was trying to hold out as long as I could, just to try and beat him on fuel strategy, because I know I didn't have the fastest car. But yeah, those last couple of restarts, I really thought I had a shot at it.
It definitely would have been a very entertaining finish to witness here. As I'm sure it stings quite a bit. The big picture, though, it's a second place finish, a pretty good sized field here. It'll be a decent points night for you, so at least something positive coming from it. I know you can't do this alone. Any shout-outs or thanks that you want to give, the mic is all yours to do so.
Oh, I'd just like to thank CORA Racing for putting on a good show and keeping it clean, and guys up in the tower doing a great job.
That's our second place finisher in the number 14 machine here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Mark Montanieri. He comes home runner-up by 1,000th of a second. So close. it's got to be rough, but big picture, it's a good finish for him. As we're gonna bring it down here with Evan Pasoko as he's caught up with third place finisher Brandon Cody in the 22.
And that's right. And Brandon, 3 cars were there on the last lap. You managed to get a lucky dog, the last one that they were handing out of the night. And you didn't get a chance to battle for the lead there, but a third place finish, there's nothing to complain about that.
No, definitely not. I got lucky in getting that lucky dog.
And we noticed that with 2 cars on the lead lap, there was a separate battle going on for the lucky dog position, considering the circumstances that happened with that caution coming out at the end of green flag pit stops. And were you aware of this and you were just trying to be that first car lap down? What was the strategy trying to get that spot?
Basically, I was pretty sure I was good at running on the top. So when I chose to go on the outside and the person in front of me got a penalty, I knew I had a shot. So it was just hold it to the floor and hope that I was going to make it.
And definitely, and with such a long race, 125 laps in the iRacing Classic Street Stocks at Charlotte, did you prepare for this through the week? How was your setup? How did the car feel, especially going into a very long race like this? What was the mindset?
We put a lot of time in with my team, making the setup and getting everything right. And we knew there was going to be a lot of traffic, so I had a setup to pass on the outside, which helped a lot. Other than that, it was preparing to battle out for 125 laps and stay clean.
Well, definitely good points then. You're going to get a decent cash payout. Great race, and definitely, do you want to throw any shout-outs there to anyone that helped you get here? Of course, team members, family, friends, anyone else that's watching?
Yeah, I just want to thank Cora for putting this on and letting us hang out every Sunday night for money.
Well, that's your reaction from your third-place driver. He's taken home in his number 22 machine, top 3 after 125 laps in an amazing race we saw at Charlotte.
Amazing is definitely the word for it, Evan. It was a back and forth race. So many different stories. We saw Garrett Denton, hands down the most dominant driver of the field, run into some unfortunate problems from a caution flag, cost him a shot to probably win the race, and then one of the most insane finishes you can think of happens, and by 1,000th of a second at the point of caution, we have an intense finish, and it goes to Dale Smalley here tonight at Charlotte.
And definitely, and we had the 99 of Garrett Denton dominated the race. He's going to come home 7th position, and what a wild race we saw. At the beginning, it looked like a wreck fest. Then we saw a big green flag run. Then a caution just threw this race into a curveball, and it was definitely an amazing finish. Only 3 drivers on the lead lap, but that's what you get. It's Cora Sunday Money Series here at Charlotte, and a well-deserved victory for the number 69 of Dale Smalley.
Absolutely, big congratulations to him. And that's going to do it here for us at ETV Live here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Sunday Money CORA Series. For all the guys back behind the scenes, Laura Lawson, JD Webb, John Westling, Evan Pasoko, all the drivers and competitors here, the teams for tonight's event. My name is Kyle Young, signing out here tonight. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you guys next week for the CORA Sunday Money Series.